Welcome to our Family Bible quiz on the Apostle Paul. Today, we have 25 questions to test your knowledge, including true or false, multiple choice, and fill-in-the-blank questions. At the end, there's a special Think It Through question for your family to discuss. Let's get started. Question 1, true or false? Paul was originally named Saul. What do you think? That's right, Paul was indeed originally named Saul. Quite the transformation. Question 2, true or false? Paul was one of the original 12 apostles. True or false? False, Paul was not one of the original 12 apostles. He came later but made a huge impact. Question 3, true or false? Paul wrote more than half of the New Testament books. True or false? True, Paul wrote 13 of the 27 books in the New Testament. That's quite a lot of letters. Question 4, true or false? Paul was a Roman citizen. True or false? True, Paul was a Roman citizen, which helped him in his travels and trials. Question 5, true or false? Paul was shipwrecked 3 times during his missionary journeys. True or false? False, Paul was actually shipwrecked 4 times. That's a lot of bad luck at sea. Question 6, true or false? Paul was a tent maker by trade. True or false? True, Paul was a tent maker, which helped support his missionary work. Question 7, true or false? Paul was present at the stoning of Stephen. True or false? True, Paul was there and even approved of Stephen's stoning before his conversion. Question 8, true or false? Paul was imprisoned in Rome for 2 years. True or false? True, Paul was imprisoned in Rome, where he wrote several of his letters. Question 9, true or false? Paul was born in Jerusalem. True or false? False, Paul was actually born in Tarsus, not Jerusalem. Question 10, this one's a hard one. Good luck. True or false? Paul was the first apostle to preach to the Gentiles. True or false? False, Peter was actually the first apostle to preach to the Gentiles, as seen in Acts 10. We are warmed up now. If you're enjoying the quiz, don't forget to like and subscribe. Next up, we have some multiple choice questions. Let's see how you do. Question 11, what was Paul's occupation before his conversion? A, fisherman, B, tent maker, C, Pharisee, D, Roman soldier. C, Pharisee is correct. Paul was a Pharisee before his conversion. Question 12, where was Paul traveling to when he encountered Jesus on the road? A, Jerusalem, B, Damascus, C, Rome, D, Tarsus. B, Damascus is correct. Paul was on his way to Damascus when he met Jesus. Question 13, who baptized Paul after his conversion? A, Peter, B, Ananias, C, Barnabas, D, John the Baptist. B, Ananias is correct. Ananias baptized Paul after his conversion. Question 14, which city did Paul write the letter to the Romans from? A, Rome, B, Corinth, C, Ephesus, D, Athens. B, Corinth is correct. Paul wrote the letter to the Romans while in Corinth. Question 15, what was the name of Paul's companion who was a doctor? A, Timothy, B, Silas, C, Luke, D, Titus. C. Luke is correct. Luke was a doctor and a close companion of Paul. Question 16. Which book of the Bible did Paul write while in prison? A. Ephesians, B. Galatians, C. 1 Corinthians, D. Romans. A. Ephesians is correct. Paul wrote Ephesians while in prison. Question 17. What did Paul do to make a living while on his missionary journeys? A. Fishing, B. Tent making, C. Teaching, D. Begging. B. Tent making is correct. Paul made tents to support himself. Question 18. Which city did Paul spend the most time in during his missionary journeys? A. Corinth, B. Ephesus, C. Rome, D. Athens. B. Ephesus is correct. Paul spent about 3 years in Ephesus. Question 19. Who was Paul's first missionary companion? A. Barnabas, B. Silas, C. Timothy, D. Luke. A. Barnabas is correct. Barnabas was Paul's first missionary companion. Question 20. This one's a hard one. Good luck. Which of these is not one of Paul's letters? A. Hebrews, B. Philemon, C. Titus, D. 2 Timothy. A. Hebrews is correct. Hebrews is not one of Paul's letters, though it's often attributed to him. I hope you have been getting some correct. Next up, we have some fill-in-the-blank questions. Let's see how you do. Question 21. Paul was born in the city of blank. The answer is Tarsus. Paul was born in Tarsus. Question 22. Paul was shipwrecked on the island of blank. The answer is Malta. Paul was shipwrecked on Malta. Question 23. Paul's companion blank was a doctor. The answer is Luke. Luke was a doctor and a companion of Paul. Question 24. Paul wrote the letter to the blank while in prison. The answer is Philippians. Paul wrote to the Philippians while in prison. Question 25. This one's a hard one. Good luck. Paul's letters are often referred to as the blank epistles. The answer is Pauline. Paul's letters are called the Pauline epistles. You're almost done. If you're enjoying the quiz, don't forget to like and subscribe. Next up, we have a think it through question for your family to discuss. Let's wrap it up. Question 26. How do you think Paul's background as a Pharisee influenced his ministry after his conversion? Take a moment to chat about this with your family. Thanks for doing the quiz. We hope you've had fun.